I'm very grateful to be inside of this community known as Xtreamfx Global Academy. I got started with this community about 3 years ago. Before that, I started off my career in Jamaica as a medical doctor and then soon became a distributor of automobiles. I did that for 16 years. And then I got into network marketing about 13 plus years ago. I've been in network marketing now for that period of time. Very grateful for that industry. Helped us to overcome a very difficult financial valley that my family had fallen into. And thankfully, we got into the trading space in 2020 while we were living in Nigeria. And this community, Xtreamfx Global Academy, has certainly helped us to move upward with the money side of life, right? We've been able to earn some really good income because of this wonderful community. So we started off in Xtream as an affiliate, paying a little bit over $100 to be a member. And once we had done that, we started to market our company, the Xtreamfx Global Academy, to people. Our $249 was also a membership level. So the compensation plan pays very generously. We were able to earn money from the compensation plan, as many people have done, $500 a month, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. I have inside of Xtream. I've also seen people use this compensation plan similar to this, earn 10, 20, 50, 100, $200,000 a month. I've seen that happen with this type of compensation plan. Not exactly the same, but very similar. So I'm very excited and very grateful for the successes that we have had. And we're now in the process of recording even greater success. And you are welcome to join us in this effort. What is it that we market to people? Well, we have different services. Our foundation is our academy. So you could come and learn how to trade the world's financial markets. That's the foundation of what we do. Secondly, we have health and wellness products that you could use for yourself, and you could market these products to people and earn money. And thirdly, we also have a travel website where you can book travel at a wholesale rate and get discounts up to 80% off at rental cars, hotels, and so forth around the world. So we truly, truly have an exciting business, very, very exciting business that we can market to people and make money, and their services in the business that you could use to make a lot of money as well for yourself. So let's look at the education piece of this. That's where we're going to lay our emphasis today. We offer an education in trading the financial markets wherein you are able to use your phone or laptop or whichever one you choose and tap into a $7 trillion per day market. Somebody type the word trillion in the chat, just in case my accent is distorting my words. Just type trillion in the chat for me, somebody, so you understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of money. So there are people who earn $1 million in a day in the foreign exchange market, and people do not even know their name. That's the size of the market, just to give you an idea of the power of the market. There are many people who have done that successfully, and people do not even know those people exist. So the market is very large, and you and I have an opportunity to tap into that ocean of money. I call it an ocean of money. So the education here is definitely something that more and more people around the world are starting to demand, because they're realizing that, hey, $89 a month, $99 a month, $159 a month, this is just too affordable an education to let pass up. A lot of people are starting to recognize this. So we have had this going on now for almost 3 years. Our first year of existence, we produced 2 students that earned over $1 million in income using the education of how to go and trade the financial markets. Those are outliers. Those are not your typical students. So I would not want to set you up to believe that you may. I'm not saying you cannot, but I wouldn't want you to believe that's going to be your experience. There are many students who have not earned any money from the education. So I want to also help you to understand that, much more than the 2 that did $1 million. So there are people who did not do well, and there are people who have done well, and people in between. So we do not know how well you will or will not do. It's totally dependent on how well you apply yourself, just like with any university. Some people graduate, some people flunk out. So we have the affordable $89 a month if you're a student with an ID, $99 a month if you don't, or $159 a month if you have the Nadex and binary added to it. Now, here's what's given our students in Xtreme a massive advantage. And I really mean a massive advantage. What has given us this massive advantage is the Xtreamfx safety trade system. And man, what an advantage it is. It is a very affordable tool. It's really a tool, kind of like if you're trying to, if you're trying to dig a trench, right, for water to flow and not flood your yard, and you need to dig a trench. You could buy a shovel in the store and use that shovel to dig the trench, or you could actually, there's something called a backhoe or a tractor, right, with a bucket on it that digs the trench, and you'll be done within a matter of sometimes minutes or an hour to finish the trench rather than using a shovel. So the safety trade system is kind of like your backhoe. It will allow you to get something done faster. It's a tool, and man, what a tool it is. It is definitely a game changer. Somebody could type the word game changer in the chat for me, please. Just type the word game changer in the chat. So we have this huge tool that's helping students who have never, some students who have never traded in their lives are using this tool, $599 for the year, for 1 year. You have it for a full 12 months, uninterrupted use. And then you also have a scanner that you could pay $75 a month for. And I'll show you what the difference between the two are. So this is just super fantastic. I mean, I'm just overjoyed. I mean, I'm thankful for this technology. I mean, I am beside myself with gratitude for this powerful technology that I'm about to share with you. Just before the call, I saw this trade just before the call. I'm like, man, I need to jump into this trade and win this trade on a buy. And man, because I had the call, I didn't want to open the trade and not have the opportunity to close it out properly. So I forego some money, guys, just so I could do this presentation for you. You see how much love I have for you? I gave up some really good money. This is a lot of money right here. Because it's so known, I knew it was going to buy back up. Anyway, that's another story for another day, right? But let's get into it. Let's leave that money alone and that lament and cry about spilt milk, right? All right. We have Paul, we have Tyson. Tyson, how are you? And then there's Swazel, Stephanie, Millie, Grace, Dunstan, Claudine, Moy, Bridget, and myself. So Tyson, you're relatively new. I know you just purchased your safety trade system. And if you're able to unmute and come and let's have this conversation together, that would be awesome. If you're able to. If you're not able to, I understand. You may be at work or something, or being in an environment where you cannot speak. But if you could unmute so that we could go over the power of the system and how simple and easy it is to use, I would love for you to do that if you can. If you can't, I get it. All right, so let's say he's not unmuting. Let's just look back at today, all right? And you realize most of us here either have the system or about to get it, right? Let's look back at today, and while I cry over this nice buy trade. All right, let me go over this buy trade with you all. This is SPX 500, right? It looks very similar to NAS, very similar to US 30. Where I was on the SPX chart. And down here, you could clearly see, right? You can clearly see, because I realize most of you know what's going on, right? You could clearly see these three lines are green, okay? And then you could see that the right here, the BS indicator, right, is showing red right here just before that trick that the market went up red, which means that the market was selling down, but it really wasn't going to sell down, it was going to buy back up. And then the box changed from green to red right here, right? Now, for a beginner, if the box changes from green to red, you would not do the trade. But once you get used to using the system, you'd go to a higher time frame to see if you should still do that trade. So let's go over that again, all right? Just before the meeting started, the market was selling down like this, selling down. And then when it sold down, it created down here, right? It created where we had green. Let me just pull it down so you can see it clearly, right? So we had green, red. And then the box changed from green to red. Now that's on the 1 minute time frame. So what you'd have to do is to jump to your 5 minute time frame, which I just did. I changed to the 5 minute time frame. And on the 5 minute time frame, you could see that everything is still green. All right, let's just go down here on the 5-minute time frame. And let me just mark that with a line. I'm going to mark, let me go back to my 1-minute chart. And just before that nice jump up, I'm going to mark it with this vertical line right here. So right here is our point of interest, right? I'm interested in what is it that was happening just before the market went up. All right. So down here, you could see right here, it was green, 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 red, green. That's a buy, right? That's a nice 1-minute buy stop. But it went down further and it broke the back. So the green back turned to red. But this still stayed green, 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 red, red on a 1-minute. Now, when this happens on the 1-minute, you're not going to be able to take that on a 1-minute as a beginner because you would, once the back changes from green to red, you should not trouble that trade. But if you go to your 5-minute chart, let's look at the 5-minute chart now, right? Look at the 5-minute chart. You'd see right where my vertical line is that everything stayed green. Everything stayed green. The 3 lines at the bottom, which is this bundled together, is green. The BS indicator is green. And these 2 lines, which are back, are still green. So what that means is that you had what's called a pullback on the 5-minute, which gave you an entry point for a buy down here. This is a great place to put your buy. So what you'd have been able to do, and which I was going to do, but the call is coming up, so I couldn't jump into it. I would have entered the trade down here as a buy, right? I'd have been able to enter the trade down there as a buy, and let's just see what happened, right? Right here, where my vertical and my horizontal lines cross, that's where I would have entered this trade. I'd have waited for it to, I would have, just tracking this coming down, I'd have put my entry point a little bit above where the candles were down here and wait for it to come back up. And you could see that it went up, it went up. I wasn't expecting it to go up this high. I was expecting it to maybe come back to here. That's what I was expecting. But then, that next candle just shot up beautifully, right? So here's how beautiful this is. How many points is that? Or pips, right? Let's see how many pips I gave up for this meeting. 4.8, almost, well, 5.74, 5.74, 5.74. Now, $10 times 5.74 is $57. $100 times 5.74, man, that's $574 that anybody who has this system could have made here at a few minutes to 3 p.m. by simply understanding how to look at the 1-minute chart and look at the 5-minute chart. You can also look at the 15-minute chart and see how it was relating to the 15-minute chart as well. Did it come and touch the 15-minute trade line? And it definitely did that, right? Let me just delete this vertical line now. Don't need it anymore because we're working in this area. You could see right here where the candle came down and touched the yellow line on the 15-minute chart. So if you go back to your 1-minute, just doing a little bit of training with everybody now, right? Go back to your 1-minute. What was it before this went up? The greens were at the bottom. This was red. Your back was red. Guys, when you have a broken back like this on a lower time frame, and on the higher time frame, the 5-minute, you still have a solid back green, which we do here. It's still this pullback below the 2 trade lines on the 5-minute, and then you go to the 15-minute, and in the 15-minute, that is a beautiful entry point. Okay, because the 15-minute is a buy. Look at it, the 15-minute is not a full buy because it has some red down here, but the 15-minute had a green back, had a green base indicator, and then this came down and touched this line. So if you put an entry just above here, if it keeps going down, no big deal, you don't lose anything. But if it turns back around and goes back up, which the 1-minute and the 5-minute suggest, guess what? You make a good amount of money, which you would have done on this trade. So I'm just sharing with us how to look for the trades, right? And let me just double check to see if we have any new people. I know Paul's iPad. I don't see I have a speaker. So as well, Stephanie Grace, God's Power, Dunstan, Delapo, Claudine Amoy, and I know that's Juliet and Bridget. So we're good. All right. So here's how powerful this is, everybody. What you'd be doing is on the 1-minute chart, you're on the 1-minute chart, you see the setup, right? You see the setup here. Green, 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 as down here, right? Our 3 lines are green. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Those 3 lines are green. Okay, our back turned from green to red. You could see that. It's not back. Our base indicator turned from green to red. You could see that. So we have the 3 greens down at the bottom. The base indicator changed from green to red, and then the back is green. right? So this means now you have a setup for a 1 minute buy stop. But sometimes what happens when this sets up, the market sells down. See, the market went down. And then the buck broke. The buck went from green to red. As a beginner, you would delete your trade. But as an intermediate level person, well, let me go back a bit. Right here, if you put your trading up here and you were waiting for it to come back up and put you in the trade, it just basically came back up, touched there, and went back down, right? So either it put you in the trade and you went into loss, or you could have had the trade on the yellow line and it went up, you got some profit, right? So you definitely would have made some profit on this first one. But then when it pulled back and went down, the back broke. That doesn't mean it's not still a good 1 minute buy. When it went down, see, it went back up, came back up. You could have gotten an entry down here, right? For when it started coming back up, you'd have made some money on that entry. But it came back down again to it started coming back up. You could have gotten a little money on that entry, not much, right? And then when it came down here, this is what you should be looking at. Everything down here stayed green, right? Everything down here stayed green on the buck, on the base indicator turned red. Let me just expand this so you can see it. See, when the buck changed from green to red, the three green lines are 1, 2, 3, they stay green, they stay green. Right? You can see them, they stay green. You can see them, they stay green, right? And then when they stay green, what happened is that you go to your 5 minute time frame. Because these three are still green, the base indicator is red, your buck is red. That's on the 1 minute. So you go up to your 5 minute, and what do you see on your 5 minute chart? On your 5 minute chart, you're noticing that everything is green, your base indicator is still green, and your buck is green. So that's the green light to go ahead and get a buy on this. And did it go up? Yes, nice big candle going up, right? Afterwards. Just beautiful the way that went up. And then in addition to that, you could also look at your 15-minute chart. So this is your 15-minute chart. If you look on the 15-minute chart, you'll see that the candle came down and touched your yellow line on the 15-minute chart or crossed it, which further validates that, hey, if this goes up, it's going to be a nice buy. So those are the ways in which you look for where to enter your trade. Now, instead of waiting for the trade to come all the way up, enter your trade down here. Okay, enter your trade down here. You go back to your 5-minute chart. You see, you'll be entering the trade down here. If you go down to the 1-minute chart, you'd have seen that you'd have gotten a way better entry if you are looking at the charts in that way. Because if not, you'd have been waiting way up here for an entry, way up here for a buy. But because you're now analyzing the 5-minute chart and the 15-minute, you'd have gotten your entry down here, and you could see that you'd win a lot more pips rather than you were sitting all the way up here waiting for it to come back up to put you into the trade. So understanding how to follow the market. So when the market was going down, down, down like this, you should be moving your entry down, 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 down with it until it finally turns around and pushes you into trade and then goes back up and you win your trade. All right, that's the way you should be putting in your trades. All right, if you're in the market trading using the system, actively using the system, that's how you should trade it. Right. All right, so that's just looking at that one example. But let's go back earlier today and let's look at some of the other opportunities that presented itself. You can see that there's so many buys. There's one here, there's another one here, and then, there was this nice sell, okay, in the market. This one, I didn't get a setup for that one. But here, in this morning, this 10 o'clock candle, right? It's what, 10 a.m. This candle here was the news at 10 a.m. This one missed me. I didn't see it in time, right? I didn't read it properly because what it was telling me at the time was that this was a buy. You see, the market pushed this way, came back down, touched the trade line for a buy because everything was green. But I was looking at the higher time frames, which were showing a sell. So as I put in a sell stop, and it didn't touch my entry point. Thank God it didn't. And then you could see it went up for a big buy. And the market, came back down here, close to where it took off from, but it really hasn't fully come back to there. It came back right here, came back a little bit down here. But it's been in a sideways move and closing out the day in a sideways move, right? I anticipate, just based on looking at what's going on, I would be a little bit cautious on being bullish on this right now. even though it's showing buys, I'll be a little bit cautious in taking buys, and I'm going to show you why. If you go to the daily chart here, if you look at the daily chart, right? Look at the daily chart. Oops. All right, if you look at the daily chart, look at the daily chart. What did I do wrong here? Oh. What did you do wrong, Harry? All right, let me go in here and click this. Go to here. And I'm trying to get this back on my screen. All right. Let me try this. Change this. All right, good. All right, going back to this, right? Let's go back to our daily chart. Let's go to our daily chart, 1 day chart. Let's start the daily chart, right? Start the daily chart. And this is where our price is right now. This green dotted line is where the price is right now in the market. And if you look at the daily chart, you'll notice that the highest point that the market has ever been to is right here, right, on the daily chart. If we go to the weekly, let's even go to the weekly chart, or even monthly. Let's go to the monthly chart. Okay, so the monthly chart, the highest point the market has ever been to is this blue line up here. And the green line is where the market is, and the red line is the last high that it sold off from. Okay, so if you look here, you'll notice that the market came up on the weekly chart. It's a weekly chart, 1 week candles. So the market 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks came up to here, and it reacted here and went back down. Okay, the market went down for 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3 weeks. It sold down, and it came down and touched the daily line, the weekly line. It came down and touched the weekly line, the yellow weekly trend line. So it came down and touched it, and then it went back up. And last week, and then this current week, it's buying. So you have to be a little bit careful here because it reversed here. If it comes above and closes above this, then you know you're in business. It's going to probably come up to try to challenge this all-time high up here. And you have to be pretty careful in between here because this is where the market, if you notice that, this is where the market sells down heavily, sold down heavily from, right? When it came up to here and touched up here, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, almost 2 months of selling. There was a little bit of buying in between, but it was a sell down for 9 weeks straight. So when it's coming up into this area, you have to be a little bit cautious because it's going to come up and hit some sort of ceiling resistance, whether it's above this current level or maybe below it, and then start to go back down. And it'll go back down again before it comes back up. So you have to be mindful of that. So as you're taking your buys, I would not be looking for very long buys right now. I would take them. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take my buy stops on the indices right now, but I would not be looking for some long-term run-up, right? For it to come up to like the way in which, if you look at from here, just say you caught this, you're fortunate enough to catch this weekly buy down here. This one, when it came out down here and you caught this weekly buy. Hey, just imagine you catch this weekly buy. Let's check how many pips that is. Oh my Lord, 1,947, right? So, if you catch a weekly buy like this, man, you're in money like you're just dizzy. $10 per point, $19,000. Oh my goodness, right? And then here's another entry for a weekly buy that took place. And this one could be a long one. Don't get me wrong. It could still go up high because these things buy a lot. But I'm going to be a little bit cautious in my buys. I'm not going to try to sit in them too long. I'm going to see if I can get 5, 10, 15, 20 pips out of a move. But, 100, 200 pips, I'm not as excited about that right now because of that, and then if it starts selling down, let's sell. Let's ride it down, right? Let's ride it down if it starts to sell down, right? Which we'll soon see, right? So over the course of the next couple of days, we're going to start to see this take shape. Is it going to be a selling market or is it going to be a buying market for the indices? Okay. So far, if we look at our hand down the scanner, right, and it's gone back all green, but it was showing that these 6 were red. M1 were all red, M5 were all red, and one of M15 was red, yesterday, right? But it now flipped back and turned back to green, right? So, bear those things in mind, right, when you're looking at this stuff, and that's going to help you significantly in making the most out of this, right? So just understanding that. So coming back to this now, right, looking at my trade that I just missed out on, and more trades are coming, so no worries, no big deal here. So here's the market selling down. Here's the market selling down. What is it doing? The market is now creating a 1 minute buy stop. You could see that, right? The three green lines are down here to the bottom. Let's look at them. Right, they're right here. Okay, so we have green, 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 and then the block just turned from green to red. You see it right here because it's sold down below the trade lines on the 1 minute, and then the box stayed green here. So this is now a 1 minute buy stop that's developing. Okay, now with that developing, here's how you should trade this. You should jump in. You should put your entry point, like, let's say here, and then as it's going down, as it goes down, you put it, you kind of track it going down. So see it's going down, and you run behind it, but not too close. Don't come too close because you do not want it to turn around and touch your line and put you in the trade and go back down. So you could stay like a pip and a half away from it or so, so you give it some time to go up and down, up and down, up and down before it turns around and comes back up. All right, so this is going down. Now, what should you be looking for this to get to? What should you be looking for this to get to? All right, as that's going down. Let's go now to the 3-minute chart. Let's start with the 3-minute chart. So you see these two trade lines, right? These two moving averages, the yellow one and the green one. Now, you could notice that if you notice it's all green down here, right? So the block is green, this is green, the three lines are green. So the 3-minute is still a buy chart, but it didn't react off of these two lines. So it's obviously those weren't strong enough to stop the selling going down. So let's go to the 5-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. Did it react on the 5-minute lines? It didn't react off the yellow 5-minute, but now it's at the green 5-minute. Is it going to react at the green 5-minute? So you could pull your entry point close to this point, but not too close. So if it turns around here, it puts you in the trade when it's going back up. Okay, so that's how I would trade this. And then if it comes below this line, then you go to the next chart, which is the 15-minute, to see if it's going to come down to this yellow line and react from here where it did previously. So that's how you should be when you're trading live. That's one of the strategies you should be using. So now back to my 1-minute chart, and I'm looking to see, is it going to come back up and put me in the trade? And if it does, I'm going to look to take some profit. And I'm going to take some profit as soon as it comes up here, 3, 4, 5 pips. Or if it looks like it's an aggressive move, I may put in my stop loss when it comes into profit, and then I try to run it up with it. Okay, just giving you guys some tips on how to get into the trades on the 1-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, and so forth, right? In terms of when the market is moving, how you get into your trades and how you identify points of entry. Okay, and that's just something that has been working really well for those who have been really studying this properly and learning how to use the system. I'm giving you a little bit extra stuff today because, we generally don't talk about that depth of stuff when we do a presentation like this. We're just giving you an idea of how to, get into your trades live. So I just showed you. So now the market is kind of slow right now. So, it came down and it's here and it may come back up. But generally, this is going to be a buy. This is a buy. All right. I think it's going to be a 1-minute, 5-minute buy. The block might break, so the green might turn to red. Okay. So it could be a 1-minute, 5-minute buy. It could be a 5-minute, 15-minute buy. But the chart is set up for buys. Right. This environment is set up for some buys. But be careful not to try to take long-term buys right now because the market is at its all-time high region. And when it's in the range of its all-time high region, there's a tendency for it to get into a sell trend right afterwards. See the block just broke? So the red down arrow suggests that there's a broken block, which the block just broke from green to red. So, but we go to the 5-minute time frame to verify that everything is still green, and it is. See, everything is still green on the 5-minute. So it could buy up from the 5-minute, or it could wait to come down here to touch the 15-minute trade line and turn around and come back. It could touch either the yellow one or the green one, or it could go down as far as the 30-minute one. All right, the 30-minute one is here. This is a 30-minute one. And the 30-minute, interestingly, has a block that I believe the 30-minute block is going to break, because it's coming on to this little dark, narrow area here. It could continue and stay red, but this was set up for a sell stop earlier today, right? Which we got some selling from the 30-minute we did, but I didn't see a full blown 30-minute sell trade. But you could see that it's set up red, 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 and the back is the base indicator, right? Is green, and then the back is red. And then if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you could see the 1 hour time frame has a red back, but then it also has a red base turning back to green now, and it also has two indicators down here, green and one red. So in terms of understanding that, then the 1 hour is not really a buy or a sell. We could jump to our 4 hour to see what the 4 hour chart is saying, right? What is the 4 hour chart saying? The 4 hour chart is saying, oh, wow, there's a 4 hour buy stop. See, man, this is going to be big, right? This 4 hour buy stop is going to be, generally they're big. And it doesn't have to be, but generally they're big. So red, red, red. Okay, red, red, red. Okay, and then, sorry, green. Green, 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 right? Green, green, green. These three lines down here are green. And then the BS indicator is red right here, right? It became red. And it was down here below its trade line, and now it's buying up. See, it was buying up, still buying up off of it. So we could anticipate more buying out of this 4 hour buy stop on S&P, right? To challenge these all-time highs, okay? So there's going to be some buying going on, which, go back to your 1 minute. So this is the 4 hour buy stop. That's what's in play right now. So the 4 hour buy stop is what's going on, right? But it's going up and down. It's not just running up straight. It's going up and down, up and down. So I believe into tonight, possibly tomorrow, we're going to see some more buying coming out of that 4 hour buy stop, right? That's developing. A nice 4 hour buy stop. So here you have a nice little sell-off. Came down here. You could track it down, so you could come down a little bit more now, a little bit closer to it. Not too close, right? But close enough to it. So when it turns around to buy, you are right there ready to go up and get the most out of the trade, right? So you see the 1 minute, the buck is broken from green to red. Go to your 5 minute, or three, let's go 3 minute first. 3 minute, right? It's still the buck is still green on the 3 minute. The BS indicator is still green, and these three lines at the bottom here are all green. Okay? Remember that these are three lines bunched together. You just need to expand it to see that. See, it's all green, right? And your buck is green on the 3 minute. Okay? But the price is below your trade lines on the 3 minute chart. So you jump to your 5 minute, see what's going on with your 5 minute. The price is right at the, almost at the point of that second trade line of the 5 minute, and it hasn't gotten down to the 15 minute yet. Okay, so after market reopens in another few minutes, we'll see where that goes. I will be doing a buy stop on this, right? I'll be tracking this down when the market reopens, and seeking to get the benefit of this coming back up. I'll probably even, I'll definitely be putting in my order for it to come back up. That's what I'm expecting. I'm going to put in an order for a buy for it to come back up and give me a nice win on the buy. All right, so that's that. Now going to the scanner. Let's look at the scanner. We have the H&H scanner. Right now it's showing that US 30's 1 minute trade line, 1 minute blue line. Sorry, 1 minute blue line has been crossed by US 30. So if we go back to here, take a look at US 30. US 30 is on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, has come below its blue line. Right here, below its blue line. Okay? With that happening, if we look at NAS, is NAS below its 1 minute blue line? Where's NAS 1 minute blue line is way down here. S&P, where's S&P blue line? Way down here. All right, so there's a potential possibility. All right, this is just 1 out of 3, not 2 out of 3. 1 out of 3, okay, that the other two may go down. Now, if the reverse may happen, where US 30 may turn back to green. All right, because these two stay green. Okay, now if one of these, either NAS or S&P, turns from green to red, and US 30 stays red on the 1 minute, the third one is going to make its way to its blue line. All right, and that's how you should trade it. So right now, if we look at it again, let's go back. US 30, right, is below its blue line. You can see that right here. All right, this is safe to trade blue line, unique safe to trade system. The price candles are below it. Let's go to NAS. The candles are way above it, are way above the 1 minute blue line. Let's go to S&P 500, a good distance above its 1 minute blue line. So going back to this system, the scanner, right, the H&H scanner, you could see US 30, all right, red because it's below its blue line, NAS 100 green because it's above, S&P 500 green because it's above. Now, when either one of these two changes to red, then that's your sign that the third one is going to move in the direction of its blue line. So if we go back to this, right, let's say S&P changes to red because it came down and crossed its blue line, then you could go to NAS and you could trade NAS towards its blue line and take any sell stops you see, knowing that it's going to go in that direction. It doesn't necessarily mean it will touch the blue line, but it has a tendency to go towards it and possibly touch it or cross it. And the same thing applies to the 5 minute. Right now we have NAS crossing its 5 minute. If one or the other one crosses, look for the third one to move in that direction as well. And that's how you read this particular scanner. In addition to this part of the scanner, there is the scanner that scans over 200 symbols in the market, right? Right now it's on, let me see, indices. We could look at indices. Right now we call it a trade on 1 minute buy stop on NAS 100. So if we went over here and we went to NAS 100, see, the system is so powerful and accurate, right? Green, 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 and what? The BS indicator is red, the back is green. It's expected to come back up above this line and you make some money, okay? All right, that's what's expected. And then to go back to the scanner again, what else? There's a 5 minute on the US 30, 5 minute buy stop on the US 30. So we'll go back to here, we look at US 30, and then we change this to 5 minute. And guess what? 3 lines at the bottom show us green. You could see the bundle together green, then red on the base, and then the back stayed green, 5 minute buying. So that's the scanner telling you what the setups are. This is looking at indices. What if you looked at currency pairs, right? This one, JPY 1 minute sell stop. You could go to it and look at that trade. Let's go and see if we could find it. CHFJPY, right here. Let's look at that. All right, on the 1 minute time frame. So we drop to the 1 minute time frame and let's see what's happening. Go down to our scanners or our indicators down here. The 3 lines, they are nice and red. Okay, the BS indicator, you could see it turn from red to green, and then the back stayed red. So we were looking for this to come down. So, but remember, if you are trading GBP, Chef JPY, right? You should have been watching it when it came up here, and then your entry point would have been, rather than you enter in the trade here, which you could have done it here and made some money, you could have jumped into the trade up here, right? But the system called us out, so you would have to wait until all of that happened. But if you're trading this live yourself directly, that's what you would have done. When the system calls it out, as it's doing right now, AUD CAD, Euro JPY, let's go look at those, right? Let's see if we could catch one of those. AUD CAD, right? Let's go quickly and look at AUD CAD. All right, here we go. All right, wow, this is a buy. All right, this is a buy. So green's red, see it's sold down, and we're expecting it to come back up. So what you should be doing with this one, this is on the 1 minute, let's jump to the 5 minute. You see it's just coming to the 5 minute trade line, right? So you'd be putting your entry point like here, like just above there, okay? Rather than go back to the 1 minute chart. As a beginner, you're trained to put the entry point up here. So you'll be waiting for it to turn around and come back up, which is perfectly good. Nothing wrong with that. But when you become an intermediate level student, then you should be looking to enter your trade down here, right? So when the market is pushed down, see, it's now touching my trade line, right? Okay, right? So you see the value. You see, I'm talking like a Jamaican right here. Can you see the value in that? Right? where this came down and now, you know, I was able to get into the trade down here rather than waiting for it to come all the way up here. Okay, so this put me into some money sooner. All right, and I can make more gain because it's gonna, you know, I'll be making the money from here to up here as well, or even above here. Okay, so guys, that's one of the things, and this is AUD card that the system just called out. And because I was early enough to see when it came down, and I looked at the 5-minute chart, see, we looked at the 5-minute chart and it took its reaction off the 5-minute line, right? Is somebody out there clapping for that winning trade? Look at that, look at that, look at that. Who out there is looking? Anybody out there seeing this live and direct? Anybody? Right? Come off mute and tell me somebody that this is exciting, right? That you're getting some really great value here because I'm showing you, you know, this is exactly how I trade. I'm just showing you how to get into the trade earlier and make more money because you'd have been waiting for it to come up here. You've been waiting for it to come up here to get into the trade, but I just show you how to catch it down here. Is there anybody out there excited about
that? Yeah, that's a lot of buy. That's a big buy.
That's a big buy. All right. All right. Thank you very much, Swazel. Anybody else out there?
Larry.
Yes.
Does this apply to let's say a 5 and a 15-minute time frame?
It's the same thing.
Also? Okay.
Yeah, because what happened is that when you have a 15-minute trade, you're trying to take the 15-minute trade off the 30-minute trade line. Okay? Right. Because you're trying to take it off the pullback on the higher time frame. So if we go back to the 1 minute, right? The 1 minute, they came down below here on the 1 minute. You see that? Down here on the 1 minute. Now, you would have been waiting for it to come above, just like right above here to get in on the 1 minute. But what you should be doing is that you should be looking for it to pull back to the 5-minute trade line, not the 1 minute. See, it just came barely below the 1 minute trade line because this is the main trade line. The red one is the main trade line. It's either red or green. And it just barely came below it. Okay? On the 1 minute. Okay? On the 1 minute chart. Sorry. It came below it. Came a good amount. In fact, it came down a good amount below it. Came down a good amount below it on a 1 minute chart. So if you were sitting down waiting for it to come up here to get into the trade, do you see that you'd make much less profit? Okay? Yeah. Right. But if you understood, okay, you know what, this is what it's showing me on the 1 minute, let me go to the 5 minute and see what's the 5 minute saying. And you see where it came and touched the 5 minute yellow line. You know, if it touched the red line, that would even be better, but it touched the yellow line. So what you would have done is put your entry point not too close because it could keep going down, but I put it close enough and you saw what happened. You saw when it turned around and put me in the trade. I know you saw the profit. So I'd have been able to make a lot more pips because I'd make from here to up here, whereas a beginner would make from the top line to here.
The early entry.
All right, to get better entry. You got that?
Yes, I got that. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else out there excited about that? Right? So the scanner gave us the trade, right? Here's another one, Euro JPY. That one's probably gone. That's more than a minute now. All right, well, let's go back. Euro EUR JPY. Okay, that's not E. All right.
New safety trade alert. New safety trade alert.
All right, so this one is, you could see the buy, but it happened a couple of times. All right, so when you see it happen, like whenever you see a buy a couple of different times before, you know, it's not good to take like the third, fourth, fifth ones. The first one is the best one, right? This one over here would have been the best one. This obviously was probably a 5 minute, right? You know, over here somewhere, right? This would have been the best one. But this market is reversing. It's just selling. This was a selling market before on this asset, and it's now buying. And yesterday I mentioned DXY for those who are here. We'll cover that again, and we'll go over that so you'll understand how to use DXY relative to the major currency pairs. So let's go to our scanner again. Scanner is called NZD/USD. So let's go look at NZD/USD. Come on, let's go look at NZD/USD. NZD/USD, right? this is showing us now
New safety trade
on the
alert.
1 minute. Let's make sure on the 1 minute time frame. Right, so it's showing us a nice red bar. The 3 lines at the bottom are red, green BS indicator set up for a 1 minute sell stop. So this already started selling already. So you see it came up to here. So, you know, if we're moving quickly, when it came up to here, up here, let's see where, if it touched the 5 minute trade line. It came close, but it didn't touch it, right? So if you were tracking it, you would have been behind this going up with your entry point. So your entry point should have been somewhere up here, rather than waiting for it to come down below your red or yellow lines to put you into the trade. You could have taken the entry kind of somewhere up here. So when it was going up, right, you know, you're looking for it to touch your 5 minute trade line. It didn't touch it, but it started coming back down and you gave it your win. Okay. All right. So I think we covered most of what we needed to cover. You know, in terms of course, you know, it's very important to go through your training over and over again and understand how to look at, draw out the logo, because that's a very important part of taking your trades, you know, opening up your trades on your charts on the 15-minute time frame, looking for what's going on in your 15-minute time frame, jumping up to your 1 hour time frame, and you're looking for the logo, right? And you trade the logo. Okay. In this case, price was below, came above, came back down, arched, and come back down. You get a couple of arches here, right? Red down arrow, price is above, now going down. So we're going to expect this to go down like this and arch back up and come back down. That's what you're looking for. So you're going to be trying to trade this store. And this becomes a 1 minute sell. So this continues down, it's go down, and we're looking for an arch back up. When it arches back up, we'll be looking for this sell coming back down. So this is the beginning of a new sell logo, right? Developing here. This is looks like a 1 hour sell start developing on NZD USD. So this system is predictable. As you get better and better using it, you'll be able to understand me more clearly, but also you'll be able to do what I'm talking about, right? And be able to put in your trades, right? So I hope I'll see a lot more people join us since that time, but I hope the information was useful. I know maybe if we're having the new people on here, hey, Robert, I was going to call you, man. I haven't seen you or heard from you in a little bit. I don't know if you're out of town or what. I was concerned about you, my brother Robert. All right, wondering how you're doing.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, good. I was, you know, a couple of different days I said, I'm gonna call Robert. Robert hasn't even called me. He's like pushed me to the side.
No, man. I just been busy.
All right, that's nice. That's nice.
Preoccupied, but yeah. Call me. Give me a call.
All right, that's fine. We'll
get free, okay?
All right, we'll definitely talk. All right, cool. So guys, I'm telling you, man, this system is amazing. And I'm very excited. I'm, grateful for it. Just very grateful for the system, man. Some days I win every single trade. Some days. Yeah, the system is just the boss, right? So guys, learn how to use it. Practice. It's very simple, very easy to use, and you can do well with it. All right, you can do very, very, very well with it. All right, very, very well with it. All right, I think I need to do this. Get this. Okay, so any questions from anyone? Any questions from anybody? Let me just answer any questions anybody has. Any questions? Let me set myself up for later. I'm going to make some money tonight. Any questions from anybody? Nobody has any questions for me? All right, that's cool. I'm glad I was clear.
Dr. Harry, not a question. I just love the analogy you used at the very beginning with the backhoe and the shovel and those tools there.
Thank you. Thank you for your compliment. Thank you for your compliment.
All righty.
Yeah,
great presentation as always.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you guys showing up. And thank you. And tomorrow we're on again, Thursday we're on again, then Saturday and Sunday. And let's rock it right into just before the Christmas. We'll take a break between Christmas and New Year's. We'll take a break. and then we'll jump back in during the New Year's. And let's make a lot of money over the next year. Everyone, who already has their system, those who are planning to get it, aim high. This is the type of environment where you can aim for $1 million in a year. Okay. And I'm going for that. And hopefully you're planning to do the very same. I have even bigger goals than that. I plan to be one of those extremely successful traders in the world. That's my goal. And you set yours. I plan to make a ton of money from the trading space. I have a lot of things I want to do. I have philanthropic work I want to do in Nigeria, in particular, Jamaica. There's projects that I want to fund out of my pocket. And trading is definitely an environment that allows for you to garner tens upon tens of millions of dollars. Because there are people who do $1 million plus per day trading. There are several people who do that. So if anybody is doing that, you could do that too. If you really have goals and aspirations as to what you're going to use that type of money to do. I want to put in infrastructure in communities. I want to be able to clothe, feed, shelter people in large numbers. Those are things that I want to do. And therefore, it's going to require me a lot of money. And the market is going to provide it. So guys, go ahead and get your skill set up. Develop it so that you can use it to meet whatever your financial goals are using the financial trading space. It is a new day and age where we do not have to work hard for money anymore. The heaviest thing you lift in making money trading is this mouse. That's the heaviest thing. The downside for me with trading, the downside is that my tummy is growing, right? Because I'm sitting down. I'm being honest. I need to get into the gym. I need to get out and walk.
You need to do chair yoga.
I'm going to have to change up my diet. I'm going to have to get more salads going. Man, I have a real challenge right now. My tummy has expanded on me over the last couple of months. And, I'm sure my wife is not going to be happy.
Excuse me, please, Dr. Harry.
Yes.
Is there a chance you could elaborate on how to use the DXY?
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't put it yet.
All right, so the DXY, do you know what the DXY is?
No.
I only saw it once. I haven't quite mastered it yet.
All right, so what the DXY is that, all right, if you look down here, you see my list of currency pairs, right?
Yeah.
AUD/USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, NZD USD, USD CAD, USD Chef, and USD JPY. So these are what they call the majors. The major currencies against the US dollar, right?
Yeah.
And then what the financial market developers have done is that they have blended all of these 8 currency pairs into one index. And it's called the DXY, which is the dollar index, right? Now, the dollar index drives the behavior of of these major pairs. Okay. So if you notice right here, the dollar index is going up, right?
Yeah.
Now, AUD/USD is on the back end, and AUD is on the front end. It means that when US dollar is becoming stronger, AUD is going to go down. When US dollar is weaker, AUD is going to go up, right? So here we're looking at this where the dollar index is going up. Would that suggest that the dollar is gaining in strength? If the dollar is going up, does that mean it's gaining in strength?
Yeah.
Right. So because it's gaining in strength against the AUD/USD, we expect AUD/USD to be going down while the dollar index is going up. So let's go and check to see if AUD/USD went down. Did AUD/USD go down?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's check. The same thing would apply to Euro/USD. Did Euro/USD go down?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at GBP/USD. Did GBP/USD go down?
Yes.
What about NZD/USD?
Yeah. Simple.
Right. Yes. So let's look at USD CAD. Now USD is in front with USD CAD, USD Chef, and USD JPY. When the USD is front, if the USD gets stronger, you expect them to go up, not go down, because the US dollar is in front in the currency pair. All right. So let's see, the dollar index went up. Remember, the dollar index went up. So let's see what happened to USD CAD. I'm going to touch USD CAD.
Yeah.
Did USD CAD go up?
Yeah, sure.
Let's check USD CHF. Did it go up?
Yeah.
Let's check USD JPY. Right? Did it go up?
Yeah.
Yeah, not as strong as the others, but it did. So what the dollar index does is that if you see on the dollar index, let's come to the dollar index. This was not a 1 minute buy. Let's see if there was any 1 minute buys, any buys. Right? Let's go to the 3 minute chart, and there's a buy stop here on the 3 minute that the bot broke. Let's go to the 5 minute, see if there's a 5 minute buy. You see there is a nice 5 minute buy. You could see that, right?
Yeah.
The three greens at the bottom, you could see that, right? 3 green lines at the bottom. The BS indicator turned red, okay?
Yeah, sure.
And the box is green. So what that did on the DXY, DXY, it told us that there was going to be a buy. All right, this is the 15, which time frame is this one? 5 minute time frame, right? So expecting a buy, and it started to come up.
Sure.
Right, and then let's go back a bit further. Do we see this 5 minute buy? Do you see this 5 minute buy right here? Green, 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 red, green.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So if we could check the time here. What time is this? Let's just see the time here. The time here is the 5th of December at 10:25 a.m.
Yeah.
All right. So 10:25 a.m. So let's go back now to AUD USD and see what happened at 10:25 a.m. All right, let's go back to see what happened at 10:25 a.m. And wait, 10:25 a.m. Why is this? Click to join audio. Don't want that. 10:25 a.m. right here. What started happening? You notice that it's sold down, right? Because DXY was what? Buying up. Let's go to Euro USD at 10:25 a.m. What happened at 10:25 a.m.? Did it sell down?
Yeah, sure.
Because DXY was buying up. Let's go to GBP USD at 10:25 a.m. See what was going on? Started going down, right? Let's go to USD CAD, 10:25 a.m. What did that started to do? Go up, right? So that's how you use the DXY. So it cuts down the work that you and I would have to do instead of looking at all of these different currency pairs to see which one has a buy, which one has a sell. You just have to simply understand what's going on with the DXY. And then if you understand what's going on with the DXY, you'll be able to decide, do you want to go for a buy or a sell on any of these?
Yeah, I get it.
You got it. Right now, DXY setup looks like it's on the 1 minute chart. I'm on the 1 minute chart on DXY right now, and it's set up for a 1 minute sell. See, red, 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 green, red. It's coming up. We check the 5 minute. Did it touch the 5 minute trade line? See, came up on nice. It touched the 5 minute trade line, but then there's a 5 minute buy, so you have to be a little careful with that sell. All right, and then there's a 15 minute. What's the 15 minute? 15 minutes is also a buy. So you would expect more buying than sells, right? So I wouldn't be looking for too many sells, and then when you're looking at the others, it's just the reverse. So if you're looking at the ones with the US dollar at the back of it, you know it's the reverse of the DXY. You're looking at the ones with the US dollar in front of it, you know it's going to go into the same direction as the DXY.
Okay. And it's specifically only applicable to anything connected, any of the pairs connected to the USD.
Exactly. Or, and then you have some exotic ones that are connected to the US dollar, like USD MXN, right? So we could look at USD MXN. See, USD MXN is going to behave similar, opposite to the DXY, but this is not as aggressive. So the USD MXN, see, DXY went up. You see, it went up too, because the DXY went up. See, right?
Yeah, sure.
If you look at USD ZAR, right? That's South African currency, right? USD ZAR. You could see again. It's going up here, and let's look at what's going on with DXY. And DXY starting to come out down, right? So the major pairs is what's linked against, though. That's what the DXY monitors, not the exotics, the major pairs. So let's leave out the exotics out of it. Let's just use the major pairs. Okay. There are 8 of them, or 7 of them, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So the 1 minute sell stop on DXY coming down. Let's go to AUD USD. We expect to see it buying up. See?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to USD. USD is buying up.
Bye.
Let's go to GBP USD. See, the bought up, came back down a bit. If we go back to DXY, it's probably, reversing a bit, right? NZD USD, see, it's buying up. Why? Because what was that? DXY is doing what, right? So it's the opposite of what the other one is doing. That's really what you just need to understand. So you look at DXY and understand what it's doing. In this case, it has a 1 minute sell. So you should be looking to get buys on AUD USD. See, it came up for a buy after it sold down. Then you look to USDC came up, and then GBP USD came back up. NZD USD, this one didn't respond that way. Sometimes it's not exact, but you will see that.
Mostly.
Yeah, when you're analyzing, right? And then you see it came back up again. USD Chef. USD Chef is going to be doing what the DXY did. It came up, sold down, and coming back up. Go back to DXY. Looks like it's quite well coming back up. Why? That one is starting to come back up.
So when you see the connections like this, you may not even necessarily have to go to the scanner.
Correct. Because once you analyze the DXY and you know what the DXY's next setup is, then it tells you what these setups are. And then you could even use the scanner sending you the setup as an additional confirmation.
Okay.
Because if you expect it to send you, you expect it to buy, then you could be waiting for the scanner to send you a message to tell you EuroCAD 1 minute buy stop, NZD JPY, or sorry, USD JPY or Euro USD or GBP USD, right? You'll be waiting for the system to send you that data because you already know based on looking at the DXY what was coming up.
Okay.
So it's another confluence in terms of factor. It's not the only thing, but it gives you another thing to use along with the indicators that we already have, which are already super powerful. So being able to use the DXY in this way, it just cuts down the work.
Okay. Because mine is not yet translated into the TradingView version. So there is no DXY kind of like that I have seen.
DXY is still in your MT format.
Maybe I haven't discovered how to identify it.
It's under futures.
Under futures, okay.
Yeah, you'll see the dollar index on the futures.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining. So enlightening.
You're welcome. My joy. The thing is that the teacher literally gains more than the student. So it's to my benefit to try to explain it to you because I learn more when I explain it.
Oh, thank you so much. So clear. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so teach somebody.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dunstan.
So this has to do with the base and quote, right? I think they have.
Yes.
I heard you relate to it as the base and the quote, right?
Yeah, because what happened is that the front one, this base and quote currency pair. But what you're doing is that rather than analyzing AUD USD alone by itself, what you're doing is that AUD USD is going to be driven by how DXY behaves.
Operates.
Right. So it's always operating in opposition, not opposition, but the US dollar is really the dominant currency in the market, not the other ones. So wherever the US dollar is going, it affects the other ones.
Right.
So if you then get the setup from DXY, then all you have to do now is go and pick one of these currency pairs and then look for the opposing setup. Because right now it's showing you a 1 minute buy, right? And DXY is showing you a what? 1 minute sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Euro USD, you're going to expect a 1 minute buy because DXY has a 1 minute sell.
Yeah.
This is DXY, 1 minute sell, Euro USD, 1 minute buy. Right. GBP USD, what am I expecting to find here? 1 minute buy. Does it have it? Yes. Let's go to NZD USD. I'm expecting to find a buy as well. But that
the US is going down.
US dollar is going, if these are buying up, it means that the US dollar is going down.
Yeah.
Right. Then US CAD, I'm expecting it to have a buy. right? Because the DXY had a bang, but that was a broken back, which is fine, right? And USD JPY, I'm expecting that to have that had a sell. But then see, this is just so great. The system is just wonderful. See, DXY is selling, and what was USD JPY do? Selling too. I know it's USD JPY is buying up, which means that DXY is also starting to push back up.
Yeah.
Right.
Look to go back up. Yeah.
Right. So when you understand how they play, what drives the DXY drives the currency, the major currencies.
Okay.
Not exactly opposite, but it's generally that. So if you see the DXY selling, know that these ones with the US dollar at the back of it are going up. If you see the DXY going up, know that these are going down.
Yeah, and vice versa for the US in front. Right.
The US in front, right? So when by understanding that, it cuts down you having to go and look at AUD USD, go through all of the time frames, cuts down you having to, because you know what's going to drive its behavior.
New safety trade alert.
Good. Thanks very much.
Hey, you're welcome, man. We're here to help each other. That's the whole idea.
That DXY is a major factor.
Major factor. You get that. You get DXY in your arsenal and understand its use. You don't have to trade it because the spreads on it are crazy and the fees are ridiculous. But you use it to trade the other currency pairs, and you can definitely go in, with a good lot size on these currency pairs. And if you have a small account, it's going to be joyful because you could trade these currency pairs and earn 10 cents for micro lots. So you could make some good money by understanding how to use the DXY relative to these currency majors.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yep.
Can I just ask you something again? I only seriously started trading this week. How would you organize your pairs alphabetically?
I don't really do alphabetically in a sense, because what I do for me, I put my indices up here because that's what I mainly trade. So gold.
Okay.
And then so my indices are all up here: gold, US 30, NAS 100, S&P 500, German 30, JP 245, US oil, and then silver. All right, that's the order in which I mess around these. And then the currency pairs are down here. So when these kind of slow down, then I'll turn my attention to currency pairs.
Right.
So I put my currency pairs down at the bottom because I'm not trading them, and I keep the XY at the bottom of my list. That's you just put them wherever you're comfortable, because you can shift these around. Just click on them, drag them up and down. And you could do the same thing with MT4. You could just drag them up and down the list and place them where you want.
So you just click it and put it on top of the list or wherever you...
Yeah, like DXY. Just click it, grab it, and put it up at the top. I know DXY.
I see. Okay.
Just
grab it.
Okay, just drag it. Okay. Wow. Thank you. Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Clear on this, man. You can't break it. You can make it look funny, but you can't break it. You can always go back to its original setting. All right. So don't worry. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys. I have to roll. Any further questions? I'll take one last question. You love it, Bridget. I love it too.
If you want to invite anybody, Dr. Harry, do I just forward the link that I use to that person and they can then join the group?
You mean the
11th is a Monday. It's Monday coming.
It's
today's the 5th, isn't it?
Yeah. So
it's Monday coming.
Training. The training. There's a link that's sent.
Oh, there's so many people talking. I don't understand who's.
Monday for the
well, I'm definitely doing that because I've had to wait a long time for those appointments, and if I cancel it, you know what the NHS is now, I probably have to wait another 6 months before I get an appointment. And because I do want them to look at my eye, because I've just had the cataract removed and I want to see how it's going. They don't normally take long, and even if they do decide to do the laser, The laser is very quick. They just put something in your eye. Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to be careful with the laser, though, now.
Okay, I understand you. I understand you. So go ahead and join the class. You know, you
All
should.
right then. So what? Just put it off for Monday. You definitely can't go on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, the new person you're
All right,
talking
then.
about. The new
Well,
person, right?
if I can get her to change it to Tuesday, can you go then?
I don't. That training is not available on Tuesday, Millie. It's a Monday only training. So if you miss Monday is the following Monday.
Yeah, I should think so. See how it
Okay.
goes anyway.
Let me see tomorrow and speak to them and see what they can do. All right.
All right.
All right then. All right then. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Have
All
a
right,
blessed day. Happy
Okay.
holidays. Enjoy your holiday. Right? Let's make a lot of money going into the year. Loads upon loads of money. Right? It's our season, it's our time right now to make. Right? Let's fill up the duffel bags. All right. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Harry.
You're welcome.
Right back at you. Fill up those duffel bags. I like that one, Dr. Harry.
Yes, absolutely, Vivi.
Good one.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.